tutorial is going to show you how to work the panels of the Dearly Beloved blanket. These can seem pretty confusing when you're reading them, but once you see them and work one or two rows, hopefully it will click and you'll be able to work them up in a breeze. So I have already completed row 1, which is a single crochet row, and then row 2, which is half double crochets. So we're going to begin with row 3, which you're going to do your chain 2 and turn your work. You're going to work a half double crochet in the first stitch, or first, there we go. Now you're going to work your front post double crochet cluster. This is basically working a double crochet 3 together around the post of a stitch. So for the first row, you're going to skip this first stitch right here, and you're going to work around the post of this stitch over here. You're going to go yarn over, go around the post, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You're going to repeat this 2 more times. So yarn over, go around the post, pull up your loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go around the post, pull up your loop, yarn over, through 2 loops. You now have 4 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Your cluster has now been completed, but now to explain where to work your next stitch, you're just going to turn your work over. You're going to skip this stitch right here. This is the first unworked stitch. This is actually the top of the stitch you just worked your post around. You're going to work your half double crochet in the top of that stitch. You're going to work a half double crochet there and in the next stitch. And that is your first repeat of the row. Then you're going to repeat that again. So you're going to skip this stitch and you're going to work your front post double crochet around this one right here. So again, yarn in, pull up a loop, through 2, yarn over, around the post, and 1 more. You got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. Pull this forward, look and see what stitch you worked. Here is your skipped stitch. You're going to work into this next one. So you're going to work 2 half double crochets to complete the first repeat. And your repeat has been completed. For row 3 now, you're going to work 2 more half double crochets, or 3 more. So 1, 2, 3. Now you're going to work 4 front post double crochets. So you're going to go around the post and then just work a regular double crochet. So there's 1. You're going to do it again in the next stitch. 2, around the next post, 3, and then the next post, 4. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to know which stitch to go into next, you're going to fold this over again. You're going to count across. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you're going to work into your 5th stitch. You're going to work a half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to work your front post double crochet cluster. Again, you're going to skip this stitch right after you worked, right after your last half double crochet, and you're going to go into the next one. So yarn over and around. There's the first one, 2, 3, and you've got 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over and through all those. Come back here. There's your first skipped stitch. You're going to work into this next one, is where your half double crochet is going to go. There's 1, 2. There's your first repeat at the end of the row. Now you're going to go into the next one and work, well, actually, sorry, So you're going to skip this one and work around the post of the next one here. There is 1, 2, and 3. You got your 4 loops on your hook, yarn through all of those, pull that forward again. There's your first skip stitch right here. So you're going to work into this one. So there's 1, 2 half double crochets, whoops, and that completes your repeat, and then a half double crochet in the top of your beginning chain 2. So that is row 3 completed. So you'll have your 2 clusters here, then you've got your 4 front post stitches here, and then 2 more clusters here. For row 4, you're going to chain 2, you're going to turn your work, you're going to work 10 half double crochets across. There's 1, 2, 9, 10. Now you're going to work a back post around the post stitches from the prior row. So you can see that these are your 4 stitches right here that were worked in the post. So you're going to go from the back and around, double crochet. There's 1, then again around the post, 2, around the post again, 3, around the post again, 4. And again, to make sure you begin in the right stitch, you can see these stitches that we worked around. There's 1, here's the top of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So your next half double crochet is going to go in this next stitch right here, right there. Now we're going to work 11. 1, 2, 10, and then your 11th is going to be worked in the top of that chain 2. Chain 2 and turn. So now we're going to work row 5. Again, you're going to half double crochet. It's going to be the same beginning as row 3, except for the placement of this double crochet cluster is going to be in 2 rows prior. So you're actually going to skip down and over, and you're going to work in the first half double crochet after the cluster, the stitch right here. So here's your cluster, here's your stitch right here. So you're going to do your 3. I find it easiest if I just kind of pinch this over, work my cluster. There's 1, back through the post, 2, back around the post, 3. I've got my 4 loops on my hook, and all the way over. Again, double check your placement. You worked in this stitch, skip this one, your half double crochet goes right here. There's 1, 2 half double crochets. Again, to find the right placement, here's your cluster, and there's the half double crochet right after. So it's not in this top row, it's the next row down. And there's 1, 2, 3. Double check that placement. There's your skipped stitch. Go into this one right here. Complete your 2 half double crochets to finish your repeat. And in row 5, you're going to work the next 2 half double crochets. Now it says to work 2 double crochet front post stitches around the post from the prior row. So you'll notice I'm skipping these 2 stitches, and I'm going to pull this post over and work through that. So round, double crochet, front post, double crochet. Now to find your stitch placement, you've just worked 2 post stitches, fold those forward, and look, here is the first unworked stitch, there's a second unworked stitch, so we're going to go into this stitch right here. Sometimes it's tricky to get it to work. You kind of have to manipulate the yarn. There's a half double crochet in the next 2, and then you're going to work the next 2 post stitches. 1, 2, fold those forward. Here's your first, oops, sorry, there's your first unworked stitch, second unworked stitch. You're going to work into this stitch right here now. 1, 2, and there's your 3 half double crochets. Then you're going to again work down, come down here, work into that half double crochet after the cluster to work your next cluster stitch. 1, 2, 3, fold that over. There's your first skip stitch. You're going to work into this one right here. Half double crochet, half double crochet. That's your repeat. Another cluster down here. And we are almost done with row 5. 1, 2, 3. You got your 4 loops on your hook. Fold it forward. Here's your first unworked stitch. Work into the next one, half double crochet. Next half double crochet, that completes your repeat. Half double crochet in the top of the beginning chain 2. Okay, now you've completed rows 1 through 5. You'll see here's your cables, and there's the 2 half double crochets in here, and they're going to start to split and go out, and you'll see that pattern start to form. Another thing to be aware of is these cables look like they're leaning and they're going to tilt outward. Once you get about 4 rows of these cables, they do start to line up and look straighter. I do want to show you how I worked the row after the row that when it starts to come down. So here you'll see we worked up to this row right here, and it just continues to work out, and then it's going to start to come in and then decrease back together. So I have started this row and I've worked my half double crochet cluster with your 2 half double crochets and then the repeat. Now you're going to come in and you're going to work another half double crochet. And so in the past you were kind of pulling these stitches in this direction. Now we're going to kind of start pushing them here and pulling them in this way. So you can tell with this stitch right next to your post, it's going to kind of push the cable that direction. So now we're going to work a half double crochet around that post and then around the next post. And again, we just worked 2 post stitches. So now we're going to skip 2 stitches. So pull those forward. There's your first unworked stitch, second unworked stitch. So you're going to work into this stitch right here. So now you're going to half double crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you're going to front post double crochet in the next 2 posts. So you're going to skip these stitches and you're going to go ahead and grab these posts, and it's going to manipulate the yarn to create that, to pull it inwards. So there's 1, 2. Now you're going to pull these forward. So now you have to kind of pull this yarn to look. You work 2 post stitches, so you're going to skip 2. There's 1, 2. So this is the stitch you're going to work into. So I'm going to kind of grab that with my nails, wrap my yarn, and I've got that stitch. Now you're going to work your 1, 2 stitches, half double crochets, and then you'll begin your double crochet clusters, or front post double crochet clusters. So as you can tell, I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. As you can tell, it's already starting to pull this yarn in. So a trick to this pattern is to remember, however many post stitches you work, or that's how many stitches you're going to skip behind. So these clusters, you work around 1 post stitch, so you're going to skip 1 stitch in the back. Here you're working 2 post stitches, so you're going to skip 2 in the back. When it comes together in between the sections, and there's 4, you're working 4 in a row, so you're going to skip 4 stitches behind. And that's kind of the trick to creating these wonderful cables and twists, and what makes all this texture so much fun in the panels of the Dearly Beloved blanket.